Hello, I'm Lawrence Chard. Welcome to our Chards Coin and Bullion Dealer YouTube channel. Today is an exciting day. We were filming this on Tuesday the 11th of November, and we've just received our first delivery of the new 2026 yellow gold sovereigns. That's exciting. Now we've got the proof ones already. Here is a proof full sovereign. I don't normally say full sovereign, but that's a proof. That's lovely. I did notice, using an eyeglass, a couple of tiny hairline scratches on that. And our photographers who came in this morning from our local studio did notice some imperfections on all the coins, I think, in the 5-coin set. So we're going to be having a closer look at that. So, embargo dates. Well, there was a soft embargo date of the 4th of November, which got put back for a week. And then it was supposed to be Wednesday, the 12th of November, but there's been some pre-embargo releases by the Royal Mint and other people, so it's a little bit strange. But yeah, we're excited to get these because for many years now I've been campaigning, and quite a few collectors and stackers have been campaigning, that the modern gold sovereigns didn't look very good. A couple of things. One, they'd often got a shiny finish on, kind of not a proof finish, just a bit too shiny, whereas from 1957 onwards they were a reasonably kind of an ordinary finish, which was slightly matte and actually quite attractive, even though there was no silver in them. Did I mention that what makes them yellow is normally having a tiny amount of silver content? We haven't tested one yet. Niton tested it to find the actual alloy content. We forgot, we've been that busy. You can tell we've been busy because look at the state of this. I just unpacked these in about 5 minutes before we shot the video, and we didn't have room to line them up neatly. But you know, it's a busy day, it's a busy period. And this also comes on the top of the 2026 gold Britannias, silver Britannias, some other silver coins, a whole load of other stuff that have been arriving in the last, or been released, or been arriving in the last weeks and days. Really busy time of the year. So that's the proof sovereign. That's a 3-coin sovereign set. That has a double, it's a full sovereign, a half sovereign, and a quarter sovereign in. And the 5-coin set, which is probably my favourite, really, has got the £5 piece, or the quintuple sovereign, double sovereign, sovereign, half sovereign, quarter sovereign. Nice sets. I like those. There is also a half sovereign, which I haven't unpacked because it's exactly like the proof sovereign, only smaller, and you can see them there anyway. And also a Bullion uncirculated quintuple sovereign with this is a so-called Bullion uncirculated. It's very nicely made, and that has got a matte finish. And I like that. I mean, some proof coins are made with a matte finish. Pop that away in there. Now we've also got, we've got a proof silver sovereign in there, but I don't really like to talk about those. Some people love them. But sovereigns are gold. Gold sovereign rolls off the tongue. And we've also done, and this is a proof actually, but Christian says, no, it's bullion. This is actually a rough draft proof of a booklet that we're doing. These will be being professionally printed, just a small run of them this week, I think. So we'll have them ready for when we can actually start shipping the coins out next week, next Wednesday, I think. So it's got a bit of information on there. Oh, it's got some good-looking guy on the inside front cover. Don't know who that is, but never mind. So it's basically a printer's proof of our little booklet about the bullion coins. Where do we go from there? Yellow and yellow colours. I mentioned that these are yellow. Gold sovereigns, 22 carat gold coins, and they've been, well, in the early days, in 1489, they were either, I think they're 23 carat, which are obviously very nice and yellow, and they always had some silver in because nobody bothered refining the silver out in those days. And when the modern sovereign started in 1817, same thing applied. Most gold that was refined usually had some silver in it, and certainly copper that was used often had some silver content in. There's no point refining the silver out if you're then going to get some highly refined silver and add it back in. It just costs more money and it doesn't actually improve the product. What's always been the case is that historically, because sovereigns were money and they were used as money, other gold coins were used as money for how many, 2,500 years now? People expected gold coins to look like gold, which means they looked yellow. Having said that, in 1957, when the Romans started a new production of sovereigns for either, well, not for circulation, but for bullion use in an international trade, they kind of looked at the specifications laid out in the 1816 Coinage Act and some other fairly old documents, and didn't really seem to take on board that the previous production of sovereigns were yellow and contained some silver. How much silver is in a yellow sovereign? Typically, you only need about 3 or 4 parts per thousand of silver to actually make 22 karat gold look yellow rather than looking red. If you leave the silver out and just have 83.3 parts of copper per thousand, then the coins look very red. Most of the sovereigns struck from 1817 until late-ish in the Victorian period had got quite a high silver content. In 1887, for Queen Victoria's Jubilee, the Mint actually ensured that they had 12 parts per thousand of silver in. So 1887 London Mint sovereigns and other gold coins were yellow instead of red, and they were noticeably more yellow than other sovereigns of the same era. So there's a big tradition, an ancient tradition of gold coins, including gold sovereigns, being yellow because yellow is the colour of gold, and if you want a gold coin, surely you want a yellow one. Some people like red gold. There's no accounting for taste. We're all different. Did I mention the t-shirt, by the way? Because usually sometimes I got one on that says we're all different. Ignore the t-shirt. I probably should have taken it off, but you don't really want to see that, probably. But this is incorrect. This was from a mock-up that we made a month or two ago before we knew the details of the new security features. We've got the Onishwaki Mali path in there. We actually created that, and you don't want to see what's on the obverse because that's on my back side. No, it isn't. The back of this is the same. I've not talked about the new security features, have I?
On the Bullion Sovereign, which we've not quite got just yet, have we? But we've got the proofs, but the Bullion, we're just waiting for the stock from the Roman for those.
They may arrive tomorrow, they may arrive the day after, they may arrive next week as things are going at the minute. We don't quite know. Anyway, that's silver content and colour. And now it's arrived, I hate zero and kind of got a feeling of relief. But for years, I've been wanting to see sovereigns being yellow by the reintroduction of a tiny part of silver. It's now happened. We'll go and test them. Now, if I go and test one, can we insert it into this video? I'm sure we can. So now we're going to do a Niton test. I'm going to do a gold £5 because it's biggest and easiest to handle. Stick it in there, and also less likely to do any harm to it than the proof, even though I handle them carefully. And let's see. Ooh, that's exciting because this is news. I've been saying there will be 3 or 4 parts per thousand of silver, and no, that's amazing. So far, slightly more silver than copper. That is fabulous. In case I sound surprised, we have seen these, but I've not really had time to actually look at them properly. That's silly, isn't it? And not had time to compare. Also, what I've been looking at so far have been mainly the proof ones. We've got proof stuff in there. It's sometimes difficult to compare colour when you are going to so shiny. So we need to compare two proof ones, a red proof and a yellow proof. But for convenience, we'll look at the matte finish on the BU £5 and look at that. That is, oh, where's my little pointer? Okay, so hi. So we've got result 916 parts per thousand, 4-part tolerance, 0.4 parts. Silver 4.3%, so 43 parts per thousand. Copper 42 parts per thousand, 1 part, a 0.1 part tolerance on it. What we do though is we go press that and we get the details and we get a more exact readout, and there we go, 9158 plus or minus 0.37. That's well within what it should be for the gold. The silver 4.26%, copper 4.17%. That is about 10 times the silver content that I was expecting. I don't know why, because 4 parts per thousand would have been enough, but yeah, we can't complain. Now I've just looked at this other coin. This is a 2024 that we get out, because I don't think we've got a 2025 handy for some reason. And I just looked at that and thought, it doesn't look very yellow. Well, of course it doesn't, because I've been talking about the yellow one and looking at a red one. Next thing is just to double check on this, and I always do this. We'll show the reverse. We test both sides. It's a bit of a statistical thing, because instead of having a 1 minute on test, it ended up having 2 minutes on test effectively. And it also allows for the occasions where the alloy is not consistent. Very unlikely as any Roman products, but with other products like counterfeits, it happens. So here we go, 916 again.
And this is on the yellow sovereign, isn't it?
This is still on the yellow quintuple sovereign. And there we go, we're coming up to a minute. Obviously, gold plate not detected. That's all very good. We'll click for this. I am actually wondering whether the high silver reading and slightly lowish copper could be if the woman might have pickled the blanks before striking, which could make a difference. It would leach out some of the copper from the surface. To find that out, we'd probably have to melt one down and do a fire assay, also known as cupellation, not copulation. We always have to point that out. So there we go. We'll take this out and let's have a look side by side. We'll show you some close-ups with a bit of look as well. I'll come round here up a bit. We got those in focus. And which looks better, the yellow or the red? Please tell us online. There will be some people who like the red, but then there's no accounting for taste. And we are all different. But yeah, to numismatists, to coin collectors, to stackers, probably to most investors, the yellow one just looks right, better than right, and the copper coloured one looks like it could be copper. There you go. Should we check? No, we won't check the red gold on. We've done those before, so we know they're okay. Let's just try a proof sovereign while we're at it. Should be the same so far. Yep, looking about the same so far. So the consistent alloy. Most people listening to say, well, of course it's going to be the same because you make the same batch of alloy, which makes sense. But what I just said about pickling blanks might have had a different effect on proofs than on a BU one. Can't be certain about that because I've never tried it. But there we go. We're getting 9 months. Yeah. We're getting more or less the same results with that. So that's good, but that's news to me, because I've been saying 3 or 4 parts per thousand. I have also been saying that the Roman might have considered using 12 parts per thousand, like they did in 1887 for the London Mint Gold or the London Mint Jubilee issue of gold, because they look noticeably yellow. And if you look at a pile of Jubilee, Queen Victoria Jubilee sovereigns, you can always spot the 1887 Londons because they're yellower and much nicer looking than the other mints of 1887 or even young head St George of 1887. So there you go. That's probably all we need to show. I haven't tested the other side of that. It's going to be the same. On pre-order day, we might not have any of these available for sale to new customers. We're planning on letting existing customers know. Some customers have been buying proof sovereigns or set some of for 20 or 30 years, something like that. So it's only fair to give them a kind of early chance. After that, if we have some left, yeah, they'll be offered to sale. I think what have I missed out there, Cassie?
I was just going to say, I do recall sitting in this chair a couple of years ago and you actually dreaming about these yellow sovereigns.
Go to bed at night and I'm thinking about the colour of coins and sovereigns and then I kind of go into dream and I think of some music. In my dream, sometimes I think about a brand new, shiny, minty sovereign. And maybe the first sovereign of the year at the moment, maybe they'll invite me to the first day this year or next year when they start making next year's sovereigns. So I go into a dream and then I see colours swirling about and rainbows and I see red and I see yellow, I see other colours too. Out of the swirling clouds and the mist, a sovereign appears and I look at it and I can't believe, when I open my eyes, I can't believe it's yellow. A yellow gold sovereign. A new one. Don't know if it's 2025 because this isn't a dream and it's in the future. Be nice to think. And there we are, yellow gold sovereign. Whoa! What a lovely dream. Now, what else do I need to tell you about?
Yeah, I think it's good that it's all come to fruition and that they are now in front of you.
Yep.
It's nice to see.
Yep. So there we go. It's a great day. And when the Bullion sovereigns arrive, I might even be off towards, I'm going to higher places. I'm hoping not to die, that is. I'm just going skiing, that's all. But I've got a few work trips to fit in on the way to the Alps. I'm hoping to be there for the opening of places like Val Thorens, one of the highest ski areas in the Alps. I think that's it. You don't want to know about skiing. I could try and send you some ski videos, but who knows? Okay, that's good. I think we've said it all. If we've missed anything out, let us know. Ask questions. Usual thing. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Give us a thumbs up if you don't. We just ignore though. No, we don't. And subscribe. That can help. It helps you to see new releases, what's happening. And I think that really is, that's all, folks. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.